So now we're going to be delving into the world of VR, AR, as we look into the future of immersive entertainment. Joining me will be Stephen Moy, who's Global CEO of Barbarian, and Bill Simmons, VP of Product Management from Roku. Stephen and Bill, over to you.
Thank you, and thank you for everyone joining this session. My name is Stephen Moy, Global CEO of Barbarian, a leading, hopefully a leading digital agency. We've been around for 20 years, our brand. And a little bit about myself. In my first 10 years, I was a software engineer when I started working professionally. And then subsequently, I joined Sapient early 2000 and spent 10 years at Sapient at the headquarters running the Boston office. And then after that, I joined Dentsu Isobar. And at one point, I was actually the Isobar CEO for UK right before Brexit. And then before Barbarian, actually, I spent 2 years at RGA as the US CTO. And so honored to share the stage with one of my longest friends, Bill Simmons. And Bill, please introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Bill Simmons. And thanks to MadFest for having us. I am the VP product at Roku, working on the ad platform. My background was actually in aerospace engineering. You know, Stephen met me way back then, and got into digital ads after finishing a PhD to try to apply data and algorithms. You know, back then, before the word big data came out, we had this idea that data could be used to make advertising work better. We founded DataZoo, which eventually was acquired by Roku, and now becoming an integral part of the Roku advertising stack. I'm here with Stephen today. I've got some, really interesting stats on, how streaming as a form of entertainment, how TV is changing in the UK. So I'm going to go through this a little bit rapid fire, and then Stephen and I will do a little bit of a back and forth. So as you've heard, paid TV has been dropping, and streaming has been increasing in the UK, down 9% year over year in paid and up 7% in streaming. The trend is unmistakable. Year over year, people are using less and less cable and shifting more and more to streaming. There was a little bump in March when lockdown started, but the trend has been unmistakable and has continued up until this point. UK is actually a very big market for streaming, third biggest in the world. The popular channels, of course, Netflix is in the lead, but 62% of UK households are using streaming video on demand, or not streaming, subscription video on demand, which is that code word, with Disney Plus as a newcomer, and accelerating very quickly. But that's not all. What was especially a big trend in the UK is ad-supported. So it's called advertising-supported video on demand, AVOD. So 21% of streamers have tried ad-supported, and 74% of that population will continue to do so. In fact, in a survey, 77% of UK customers prefer the use of free ad-supported services, which makes sense. I mean, one of the main reasons people switch to streaming is it's a better experience, it's more personalized, it's informed by data, but it also saves you money. It's sort of a win-win-win. And it's not just that. What's really exciting for advertisers and brands is that the people that use this, because it's more engaging content, they're also more engaged in the advertising. These are stunning numbers: 55% more likely to tell a friend about a brand, 47% more likely to search about a brand. Like, the advertising and marketing opportunities in streaming TV are outstanding. And lastly, I just want to make this point is that while live TV and broadcast TV and cable services and satellite continue to be a fairly large addressable market, it's shifting older and older, while the streaming population tends to be younger. If your product is trying to reach a younger audience, which is, shifting not just young, but towards, 35 to 44 even, anyone under 55 is heavily shifting to streaming. So it's a huge opportunity. And, we believe it's the future of how, big immersive brand marketing will happen. And so with that, those quick stats, I hope they were interesting. We're going to shift to a little bit of a chat, and I'll kick it off with asking Stephen. Stephen, given all the changes that we saw in 2020 and how people are consuming content, what have you noticed, as CEO of Barbarian, and how brands are doing their marketing?
Yeah, great question. And clearly, right, what you shared today, the data is supporting a lot of our research and recent research about the shifting customer behavior. That clearly the first mile of any digital or even O2O customer journey has starting from home. I think last year, Bill, you and I talked about we call stay-at-home customer. In some cases, we call stuck-at-home customer all of a sudden because you can no longer travel. So really, every single touch point throughout the consumer journey, from communication to commerce and CRM, and any brand want to interact with the target audiences has changed. If you look at like some of the stats you share, and plus like look at Netflix, right? They hit 200 million subscriber. Disney Plus today, this week actually announced 100 million. So there's a lot of interest, like streaming content, because people are working from home and actually interact with each other from home. And also American kids spending 2.5 hours a day on gaming platform. So I would argue, working with a lot of leading brands, thinking about how to manage the expanded ecosystem, included the connected TV. And our research indicated like last year really crazy in terms of a lot of behavior, like 65% growth on 55% growth on 65 inches, high definition TV just last year, because everybody want a better entertainment system. And if you look at the top 10 leading e-commerce player in US, Wayfair's, Home Depot, because everybody start decorating their home, upgrading home, even eBay, people buying, office supply. So we're working with a lot of brands. How are you going to leverage connected TV using that and streaming content as part of the ecosystem? How are you going to communicate to them? How you create, easy transaction connecting all the touch point at home, right? You got like zero dimension, which is voice and, facial recognition. In some cases, if you see CES, people introducing robots, right, at your home. And now you have connected TV, tablets, everything all connected in a way. Yeah. So very interesting. Scott Galloway, a professor from NYU, talk about the attention economy. So you're really fighting for, attention, every single touch point. So I would love to hear your thoughts, Bill, from your point of view.
Yeah, I mean, today. I mean, a lot of people have heard the stats about the growth of streaming, but I think what we've noticed is the behavior of marketers is changing too. Like you said, it's an attention economy, but it's also, the amount of data, the way that you can use data to personalize the experience, but also track the outcomes, has changed the way people think about TV advertising. Traditionally, TV advertising is focused heavily on brands and not so much on, sales. However, now that you can create an engaging, full big screen sight, sound, and motion experience on the TV, and then pair it in synchronicity with mobile experiences, audio experiences. You can do things that are not traditional TV spots. You could do sponsorships, or interactive units or product placement. You can actually measure what's working and customize it for different kinds of people. And we've seen a shift in the way, media is being planned and evaluated and measured. And I think that's a big impact that's going to change, how brands think about marketing in the future.
No, truly, I agree with you. Like we see a tremendous shift, right? Digital, e-commerce, everybody talking about it. Like the e-commerce just already in the first 3 months during COVID caught up the last 20 years in terms of sales and numbers and volume. But also more importantly, like about data and direct to consumer, because like you no longer can travel to non-essential retail, you cannot travel to anywhere you were. So a lot of brands already start gearing up in terms of thinking about not destroying or cannibalizing their ecosystem, but more like how should I have a direct conversation with the customer? And also how should I reclaim, more importantly, the first party data? So we see a lot of investment in terms of building ecosystem, like how should I create content that also is coordinated from above the line advertising, watching a Super Bowl ad, to like digital display, to all the digital advertising, all the way connected the dot to when you're watching streaming content. And I see a lot of new thinking and also a lot of experiments people are playing with, because truly, right, if you get more data, you could, I know you have a lot of sophisticated technology, you can really connect multiple touch points at home and different devices and contextualizing the communication, content they want to consume, and also enticing them to transact. And maybe even, proactively, you can servicing them a little bit better and faster, because the thing is everything connected. And data personalization would be a key competitive advantage, I would argue, like for every single brand, because you're fighting for that 9 to 15 second that TikTok taught us about. Wow, every post is 9 to 15 second. Personally, only 8 seconds, I already want to see something else. But how can you create them more relevant content? And personalization is key every single touch on through the journey. And it's very, very interesting world we're living in. Bill, the next question I want to ask you about is how do brands, learn from this explosive growth, right? From streaming content and connected TV, how data and personalization all play it up.
Yeah.
Right? What would you say?
Yeah, I think the key thing, it's not just like more of the same. I think one of the philosophies you have, Stephen, which I always enjoyed, is that brands need to become or have the mindset that they're an entertainment company. Like they need to build experiences that consumers like. And the growth of streaming is not just because it's cheaper. It's a much better experience because it's tailored and personalized, and it's easier to find what you want. And that all goes down to what the consumer enjoys. What makes them happy. They don't like to see a blast of lots of irrelevant ads. Today in broadcast TV, sometimes 7, 8 ads per break, sometimes 9, completely random. Whereas if you watch on a connected TV device, it's tailored to you, and it's shorter and more compact and increasingly integrated with the content. New technology.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Bill. You reminded me, right, when I talked to you about every brand should be an entertainment company. There's so much to learn, right? The storytelling, the cross communication, commerce, and even servicing the customer. I remember I shared with you. We were fortunate last year. Barbarian worked with the over-the-counter drug company Mucinex, and they want to reach the younger audience, which we all know, the Gen Z, right? They don't watch TV that much, but with the data, they start watching more streaming content. What we did in 4 months, we launched a live streaming new capsule collection for Mucinex. The brand want to make you feel better, but also we help them to create apparel. So not only you take the drug, make you feel better, but also what you wear, right, make you feel better. To reach the younger audience, what we did was we partnered with a lot of influencers. We do a live streaming on YouTube Live. We launched the campaign, 91 million impressions, 15,000 people dial in, because that's how people like to engage with brand today, right? They don't want you to sell to them or talk at them. They want you, hey, something meaningful. I want to engage you. They want to join you. So that was a huge success, what we did. So using that for example, so truly any brand, you're going to CPG brand, should think like an entertainment company, because how you fight for that attention, right, during communication, how you fight for that transaction, how you keep your customer.
I think the key thread through that is that the entertainment and the marketing are intertwined. So it's not like entertainment, marketing, entertainment. The Mucinex fashion show you did, it was amazing because Mucinex is medicine, for gross stuff, coughing and mucus, and you made it, cool and sexy, which is pretty awesome work. And I think getting to the part of the talk which is about the future, talking speculatively, I think we're going to see a rise in much more creative ways to intertwine the entertainment and the advertising. So, technologies like augmented reality can be used to seamlessly insert customized content, including marketing messages or brands. So think about swapping out the soda can in a movie scene with the one that's more targeted to whoever's watching it. Different, background images. You can customize the content on the fly using this kind of technology, or customize what somebody's saying digitally to make it more seamless and connect better with each individual. I think, we're going to see a future that's it's really interesting for brands.
Hey, don't forget, right? I know we have only a few minutes, second left. I think about it. You were watching the Burger King commercial, and then don't forget 3D printer. You could technically print a burger at your home while you're watching it. Think about the world, the entertainment aspect to, 3D delivery in a way. So, everything is possible. So thank you for the time. I think our time is up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks so much, Steve and Bill. I would just like to, I think we've got time for a couple of questions. So you talked about, every brand should maybe think like a CPG brand. And obviously the experience last year with lockdown and time spent online and streaming, just went up more than tenfold. Do you think that brands are now realizing the opportunity available across AVOD, across CTV? Are they kind of recognizing what can be done in this area?
I'll start first, and Bill, please. What I meant is every brand should think like an entertainment company, including CPG brands. So I just want to clarify that. But yes, and with there's a lot of data I'm sure Bill can share with you. We see a tremendous streaming. I still remember before COVID, Bill and I was talking about the aging population. The primetime TV in US, actually, the median age is 55 years old. And the millennial or the younger generation, they don't even watch any live content, broadcast TV. But with Bill just shared the data, all of a sudden you see tremendous adoption for the younger generation, started streaming more content. So I will make an argument, truly, connected TV is a new touch point, or it's a more significant touch point in the ecosystem when you're competing at home, targeting your customer, they all fighting for that attention. And Bill, I would love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, the statistics are of the growth of CTV advertising are well circulated. I don't need to repeat them, but what's changed is the brands are able to measure them much more accurately and be able to know how well they work. And so we're seeing, as results come in and they see, wow, this is a very well spent money that I can hold accountable. We're seeing more and more investment.
Yeah, the measurement piece is definitely key, isn't it? And then brands, once they try it, once they see it working, then you get that adoption. That's been really fascinating, guys. Thank you so much.